Howdy. Of course I pressed the wrong button first. Sound seems alright. Uh, that place. Now the okay, maybe I need a warmer clothing. Okay. It's freaking cold in Hungary. I would say that it's not the most comfortable. So there are quite a few things that I've been thinking since I rewatched some of it from other creators, and at the time I did not realize back then that when because I was playing with Lumin, so of course that's my excuse. But up on the moon we were with Columbina, and originally that was Ether, and well, minor spoilers, minor. It's more like years have passed since Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and there was this. There is this kind of connection that Ether, the voice actor of Ether is Zach Aguilar, the same as David in Edge Runners. And I don't know what the actress name, but the same one is for Lucy as for Columbina. So they were finally arriving to the moon. That was, yeah, that's something that hits differently after that. Now, what I did not read back then, but I should have, it's just here. So yeah, we will hear her yawning a few times after this, but that's how it is. So we got the outfit, and the outfit has some description: as heaven and earth are made anew. An outfit worn by the traveler which has accompanied the twin stars in their journey through countless worlds. Despite this, they cannot yet grasp the true purpose of the cosmos. Even so, surely every question posed brings them a little closer to the final answer. Now, there is a longer description, and I will read it here as well. So, it had journeyed through countless worlds and endless distances. This is not my first time, of course. It's just I did not dive into it on the stream. I mean, I did not even check it on the stream. And I kind of don't mind, because all my thoughts that are with it are like not fitting there. So it had journeyed through the countless worlds and endless distances, surveying every kind of terrain and gazing upon skies tinted in different colors. So traveling through worlds, basically. This might sound romantic, but in reality, the matter was closer to torture than adventure. It also once pictured a scene like this: twins standing under the radiant night sky, their eyes shining as they watched the stars and the many moons above. The many moons. But but it immediately disconnected its idea association module. And from now, it is a certain thing that it is an object. So it immediately disconnected its idea association module. So there are modules inside it, so definitely is a construct of some kind. A sky with such colors only meant that the atmosphere was unfit for life. So that's kind of an analyzing that happened there. That these kind of skies are beautiful, but they are they are not good for life. However, this is an object, so still it looks for an atmosphere fit for life. After witnessing such vistas hundreds of times, so hundreds of times, hundreds of words, there was no longer any need to be moved by them. So first it was like, oh, they are beautiful, but later on it became like more like an annoyance, I guess. It did not wake the slumbering twin travelers. So this object is... Oh, we got this outfit from the spaceship, of course. So it's probably the control system and AI in the spaceship. At this point, where the twin travelers were slumbering. Now that's a different thing that they are slumbering, because it will be relevant. Instead, it carried the weight of an exile, and the journey so long that numbers had lost their meaning. Now, exile is a word that can mean different things. Exile because, like Superman, how he was exiled to Earth in some ways, other ways like escaped. So here I assume exile means like escaping, surviving, that way. But it is still a word that can mean other things as well. You know, like they were sent away, that you cannot stay. The weight of an exile and a journey so long that numbers lost their meaning. So thousands of years, we can presume. The fine details of the lithosphere, atmosphere, or biosphere ultimately matter little. The fine details. So it just had to be fit for life, but other than that, they could be managed. Reshaping terrain, adjusting the air, rebuilding an ecosystem. These were simple tasks for a pioneer vessel meant to bear the spark of civilization. A pioneer vessel meant to bear the spark of civilization. Now this is still probably about the spaceship. The spaceship that carries an egg-like thing, I would say as well. That egg-like cockpit, let's just say, it resembles the sky. Let me just... So I might not be able to bring it to the screen. I mean, I would be able to, but I kind of don't care about it that much. I'm just checking if I'm correct in my assumption. Yeah, different kind of skies even. So as different times we saw the spaceship. Yep, but more like space, kind of like the cosmos thing. However, the important part it will be soon that I'll be there. A star's position, its distance, or its lifespan might pose a minor challenge, yet even those had solutions. So even if there's a world, a planet or something, it could be replaced or like made it to still be made to fit life that way. So certain skies probably because of radiations around and whatnot, but still so many things that can be adjusted. Still the world itself matters a lot, that how it exists at arrival. And it took a lot of time to find them some. And the true difficulty lay in finding a world with potential. Without that, destruction would catch up all too soon. One of the words will be like here in the next two sentences. It was a trivial matter in the span of a long voyage. Trivial matter in the span of a long voyage. It's like as if the voyage continues still, but I might be thinking too much into this one. The planet they passed was never a destination, since its star had already entered its twilight. It's one planet, I think it's a random one. Its biosphere and atmosphere had been utterly destroyed, and the surface held nothing but cooled masses of molten rock. A supernova had caused the devastation. A supernova... okay, we'll get back to that as well. For several weeks or months, intense heat and light had marked the star's final brilliance. After that, it had been reduced to a cool, dim dwarf. It ran a quick calculation on when the event had occurred. What a coincidence. The radiation trapped in the planet's crust indicated that the supernova had erupted the very year the twins were born. So, a few thoughts. Okay, I will read it to the end here. Naturally, the two events had nothing to do with each other. Naturally. No one would ever celebrate their birth by burying an entire world with it. This sentence means more to me. It might be just how it addresses that supernova was not in connection, but such levels of extravagance and cruelty simply did not exist. However, what a coincidence. The radiation trapped in the planet's crust indicated that the supernova had erupted the very year the twins were born. Now, when they were born and when they were exiled, either way, but when their exile have started is definitely a different time. So they did not grow in the spaceship. They had a world where they grew up. So that supernova, but still it is mentioned. So that supernova might have nothing to do, but it took like a light years, you know, to a radiation to reach another planet, and it could be that supernova still was responsible for their world's destruction, or anything like that. Whatever. Interstellar travel was dangerous after all. A supernova 5 or 6 light years away could damage the genetic world, and perhaps the twins as well. So it matters more like because of the radiation that would damage the genetic wood. Here, this is very important here. So there is not just the twins. There are not just the twins on the spaceship, but there's a genetic wood because it's a pioneer vessel meant to bear the spark of civilization. So there is a genetic wood that has to be saved. Now, that would mean that this is kind of an arc. Now, Tevat means arc, as we know. I think it's Hebrew, but it means arc. And we will. So that's important. That arc kind of thing, because even the flood repeats with Remuria, with Fontaine, the cataclysmic events. So these two seem to have that fate even before they arrived in Tevat. However, and an ark, you know, Noah's Ark, of course, what we're talking about, and I presume that everybody knows that story, so we are not getting into the Bible with that. It immediately modified the garments in the wardrobe, upgrading them with materials better suited for interstellar travel, and laid them over the stasis pod. So, The gesture might not amount too much, but it offered a quiet kind of comfort. Within their slumber, the twins were granted a new refuge, and so it continued its journey across countless lands and stones, numberless atmospheres and skies. So this was like a part of, kind of like a part of the flight log, how the AI perceived their journey. Like it was awake, but the twins were asleep. They're waiting for them to find a word. Now, okay, I go out from here just because I don't want to listen to the yawning. So it's interesting because as the traveler said that they were going across the universe and they stopped next to Tevat probably thousands of years ago. I mean, no, for a long time ago. But just for a quick stop, and then the spaceship has continued, and then they returned. The spaceship returned, and then it was hauled to a forced landing. Now, in Sumeru, we learned that the descender was summoned. So, or somewhere, I think it's in Sumeru that us descending was an answer to summoning. Now that's an important thing here, because forced landing is, so no, it's not that the spaceship has malfunctioned, but there was a forced landing. Now there are quite a few questions. First of all, can the AI be copied or not? Were there multiple AIs? Were the AIs connected to the twins, or more like to the pioneering and to the genetic code? Because now we are going to go another reading. We get back to the Byakuyakoku. Here. And the second one. What we wish to record is the tale of how heaven's will took shape on the earth below. O heavenly gods, these creations are your works. Grant us divine wisdom, let us endlessly record. When the doves held branches, the doves, like two of them, like they could be twins, held branches as the doves went to find proof that there is world to habit when Noah's Ark was on the sea. So that's like when the doves had branches. So after there was a world found where that was fit for life. When the eternal throne of the heavens came, the world was made anew. So we don't get here. Probably there are different things that I should, but right now I'm focusing on this part here. So I will look after what is before, but my point is lies here. The other ones are like everybody else is talking about it, I guess, and probably some people will talk about what I'm theorizing here. Then the true Lord, the primordial one, came forth and did battle against the seven terrifying sovereigns, dragon lords of the old world. If like terraforming words were an easy thing for an AI, then like battling terrifying sovereigns, dragon lords, and whatnot, it would probably be able to destroy the world, even if it wanted to. The primordial one created shining shades of itself, and the number of these shades was 4. Now the 4 shades, we will get back to that. Here it's, first of all, it's not that important at this point. On Phanes, or the primordial one. The primordial one may have been Phanes. It had wings and a crown, and was birthed from an egg, androgynous in nature. So, it had wings and a crown. The crown is what I kind of don't get here. But wings, the spaceship had wings, kind of, you know, was birthed from an egg. And the middle of the spaceship, it looks like an egg. And androgynous in nature. An AI doesn't have genders. So it was birthed from an egg, androgynous in nature. But for the world to be created, the egg shell had to be broken. So were there like multiple of these eggs or whatever? I kind of don't know. Maybe they rethought this part. So kind of a retcon, because it was a meteor first and now it's a spaceship. So it could be that things are changing. However, Phanes, the primordial one, used the eggshell to separate the universe and the microcosm of the world. The eggshell here, so the eggshell had to be broken. It could be that it's not like physically it had to be broken. It could be like allegorically that it had to be opened. You know, and that way the AI was able to come out and use the eggshell. The shell of the egg here is the spaceship itself that had probably ways to change the world. Use the eggshell to separate the universe and the microcosm of the world. And here it's a very, like in the Bible, it's a very metaphoric this way, I think, all of this. So that's why, because if Tebot was here and the dragons were living, then the universe and the microcosm of the world kind of existed, but it could be that the dragons were living their kind of life, that their energy consumption wasn't like humans, that it came from food, but more like the energy, the phlogiston, the primordial sea, and whatever they were around. So it could be that it used the actual, maybe the program in the spaceship or whatever. It's just how I interpret it, but it's probably like not exactly this way. It's just one interpretation. And the microcosm of the world, it could be that the genetic world was not just the humanity, but how they were affecting the wildlife and changed it. So it could be that it wasn't like dragons were eating chicken. And also that's not a coincidence that I'm using that. But I don't have that wing, that is the KFC wing, and the but maybe I can read that even though I don't have it. It could be. We'll check on it. But I've been checking it out, because there the dragon world was the KFC chicken later on, as they were like devolving, and as you could see in Atlant, the dragons were like changing as dinosaurs were changing into birds in our world. However, so it could be that there was no other ways of existing than just the dragons and their civilization, and the primordial one brought that kind of wildlife with the spaceship. Now it doesn't mean doesn't tell that the spaceship stayed, but it was just a brief stop, as we know from the Act 8 here. 40 years after had branches. 40 winters entombed the flames, and 40 summers churned the seas. The 7 sovereigns were vanquished, and the 7 nations submitted to the heavens. The 40 here is the the reference to Noah's Ark. The 7 sovereigns were vanquished, so in 40 years. It took 40 years to usurp them, I would say, and the 7 nations submitted to the heavens. So they, even though the sovereigns were vanquished, but the dragons remained. The primordial one, the great sovereign now, so who had all the power, all the authority, began the creation of heaven and earth for our sake. And here, quotations, for our sake, that of its creations, which it cherished most, who would soon appear upon this earth. For our sake, that of its creation, so that we did not exist, the humanity did not exist yet, but it cherished the survival of this humanity, the survivors of the Ark, it cherished most, and we will appear later. 400 years after the head branches, the mountains and rivers were made. So it's more like a reshaped even the geography of the world. And the seas and oceans accepted those who rebelled and those who would not kneel. The seas and oceans, so that the dragons were like retreating into the oceans. But how much was it because of the primordial water? Because we know the oceanids were still maybe did not even exist yet. But that's just like kind of non-important details compared to the others. The primordial one and one of its shades created the birds of the air, the beasts of the earth, and the fish of the sea. So, wildlife. Together, they also created flowers, grass, and trees before finally creating humans. Not creating, it's more like waking them up, I would say. Our ancestors, numerous as the stars in the sky, referring that there were a lot, uncountable as the sand on the shore. From that time, our ancestors made a covenant with the primordial one, and so entered into a new age. And that covenant is more like the first civilization could be, or whatever. The year of the ark's opening. So that's, I think this refers to each other. The primordial one had a sacred plan for humans. As long as they were happy, it too rejoiced. Alright, humanity survival. The year after the ark's opening, and the people worked the land, and so came the first harvest. The people mined, and so reaped the first crop of precious ore. The people gathered, and the first poems were written. So here, like artistry, whatever. So they were diligent, I would say. The year of Jubilee. If there was hunger, the heavens would bring down food and rain. So they had reserves. How many things had fit into that spaceship is. But maybe they could bring food and rain from. I mean, the rain is easy. They could bring food from other worlds. If there was poverty, the earth would bring forth its riches. If melancholy were to spread, the heavens would reply with their voices. So they were caring. That's about humanity. The one taboo was to succumb to temptation. Now, what was the temptation here? But the past, the temptation had already been sealed. The funerary year. The second throne of the heavens came, and war was rekindled as it was in the world's creation. Now here, here is what I kinda where I kinda lose myself, because this here from Phoenix and the reshaping the world, this was probably because here at the end a sacred plan for humans. So it was kind of 440 years after, and in a few years stuff have happened, but 440 years after the primordial one arrived. And then the second throne of the heavens came. Yeah, so humanity was released at the end of that era. And that happens. That matters because it could be that the second throne of the heavens might be one of the twins. And as they arrived, it might have been a misunderstanding there at that point, as it was the world's creation, and war was rekindled as it was in the world's creation. It could be that the dragons were still part of this war, but I would read and it kinda doesn't say. We assumed it back then that the war was rekindled with the dragons, but it could be that the second throne was having their fight with the first one. That day the heavens collapsed and the earth was rent asunder. So it could be that the AI was almost shut down, like told that no, that's not how it is. Our ancestors and their ancestral land fell into this place during that conflict. The era of darkness had begun. So it could be that the second throne, when they arrived, they were like not satisfied with what they saw, and they threw everything that happened until now, even with humanity, underground. Now the question is, were the ley lines existing there? Was Irminsul existing there, or it happened after? We don't know it here. We might know in the game somewhere, but right now, as I'm thinking, I don't connect those dots. But it could matter a lot, because our ancestors and their ancestral land fell into this place during that conflict, but it doesn't say that which side made it, and if it happened because they wanted to save this place, or it happened because they wanted to get rid of this place. I mean, we're talking about Enconomia. The era of darkness had begun. The first year of darkness. The people of the seven sovereigns had found refuge in the oceans, and the dragonaires of the depths ruled this particular place, which led to war between them and our ancestors. So this is after the place, I mean, Enconomia had descended underground, because the seven sovereigns and the dragonaires, they survived here, and they were here, and as this like bishops and whatnot, as this place has arrived, they started war in between them, but they don't know what happened up there. Our ancestors chased them into the shadows with the light of 1,000 lanterns. This probably will come back in the future. I don't know yet what the 1,000 lanterns is, and they hid in those shadows hunting us. But there was only darkness in this place, and so their hunting grounds were untrammeled. There was only darkness in this place, and their hunting grounds were untrammeled. The prayers of the people turned into lamentations, but the primordial one and its 3 other shining shades could not hear. You know that jumping a bit forward, we know that the fourth shade was Istaroth, who did hear and did care about these people. Tokoyo Okami, I think it was her name here. It will be mentioned here. Tokoyo Okami. Yes. So Tanzan enters, but there was only darkness in this, and the prayers of the three other shining shades could not hear. So it's not about that they did not listen. They could not hear. Where the god's gaze does not fall, because this place, and that's why I would say that there's a possibility that Enkanomiya was like a refuge for the humanity that evolved until then. It's just they kind of stayed here and not existed, extinct this part, like Neanderthals, you know, a branch of evolution that did not succeed. So the parable of the sun. In the dark cavern, there lived a group of people who had never seen the light. Among there was a sage who had once seen the sun, and he told the gathered folk about what life under the sun was like, and about the great might of the sun. Seeing that they did not comprehend, he lit a torch, and thus did people come to worship the flame, believing it to be the sun. So this is more like about how they lived in Enkanomiya, not really connection to the story before that. They even got used to a life of darkness and fire. When the sage died, this kind of means that they were very resilient, humanity, and they found different ways to endure. When the sage died, someone would monopolize the flame. Using it, they would cast a long shadow over the land. The parable of the Lethide lotus that causes all who look upon it to forget their troubles. Now here, this is memories are deleted. That we know about it. So a lotus that causes all who look upon it to forget their troubles. That's the important part of it. A ship captain searching for the way back to the surface discovered a tribe of people who ate these lotuses. Some crew members stayed in that place. Others rejected that temptation. Temptation? Here is where it comes back, but I don't find that connection yet. Life is a boundless ocean of suffering. We are only searching for the way home. Now here, the more important is that there's a tribe of people who ate these lotuses. This means that basically that there is a way to make people, big groups of people, to forget. That's an important part, but I'm not sure we're gonna get back to that one. The third year of the darkness, we knew the only one who had not forsaken us as the ruler of time. She was the moment. She was every moment. She was the measure of 1,000 winds. Here, just the connection with the animal and the sun and the moon. Measure of the sun and the moon. She was every second of joy, every moment of rage, every instant of longing, every minute of obsession. She was every flash of delirium. We call her Kairos, or the ruler of the unchanging world. We dare not speak her true secret name, and so I pen it here only once, and in reverse, Thoratsi is Taros. Okay. So this is more like introducing Istaros here. The year of blindness, and the sage Abrax's wisdom was awakened, and he unveiled a light-bringing miracle from within his hands. So our ancestors began to build the Helios with him as their leader. the Abrax's wisdom was awakened. So it's more like it wasn't his idea, but he got help to build Helios. I would presume that it came from Istaroth and from the future, and that technology that would have them. The Year of Sight, or the first year of Sun and Moon. Helios, the divine chariot of the sun, was finally completed, the white night came, and Evernight was banished. The years of the sun and moon had begun. Now, looking, remembering that it's switching between the two, it changed the walls, changed the like when there was the light, then certain parts of Enconomia were resembling the past, and the other parts were like their present or are present. I would say so. The Helios seems like it connected past and present in some way. I don't know. It might be just a gimmick still, but still, it's more like the thing that Helios was connected to time management. The second year of Sun and Moon, our ancestors sought the returning way, so they wanted to go up. For surely yeah, this is very important here. For surely the war on the surface had ended by then. But the primordial one, the first throne, had laid down a ban. Not sure that it happened then. It could happen when they were cast down, preventing our ancestors from finding the path home. So there was a barrier that kept them separated. In that case, the primordial one must have defeated the second who came. And that's probably the case. So back then I was thinking that maybe the primordial one was usurped, but now that thinking that the primordial one was an AI that probably overthought that its program, and when the second who came, if that was one of our twin, and that would very much mean that the second descender was our twin brother. Oh, was there here? Oh, no, that will be below here. Yeah, here the parable of the freeze. So what I'm theorizing about is that the second who came was our twin who got lost. Who got lost probably and made to eat this lotus. So maybe if he was, let's assume it was from my view it's Ether. So when the twin was defeated, the twin was defeated, it could be that it didn't want the primordial one didn't want to kill the twin, but wanted to forget everything. And then we will jump into the battle pass animation there, as there was a Sky Kingdom where there was someone who stole the Genesis Pearl, and that would probably be the primordial one then. It could be that all of us are like, I mean, the twins and the primordial one all together, they stole the Genesis Pearl, the genetic vault, and then they wanted to use it somewhere else. But very much what I'm referring here is that the first heir was was forgetting about the purpose, and thought that they are the king of that world. So that's the thing that if they think that they are the king of that world, then they should be who won against the primordial one. But I do think that first, the second who came would think that they could rule, that our twin was, that they could rule that world, not like help that world. And if the primordial one had to make them forget, so this is here that there are so many options. But I definitely think that the primordial one, that the second who came was the twin, and either way, if when they forgot everything, then they might think that this is their home world, because this is where they got. Could be that they were reborn here, and that's why they are not part of Urban Soul. That would fit in with other stories or other details from later, because then that would mean that the primordial one was able to defeat them, make them forget stuff. But the question is, why are they in slumber? Now there was something that made me think that the primordial one had to be awake at the time of Karia. But right now I'm not sure. What I am saying here is that the twins probably knew everything about this. And the question is, why doesn't Lumin remember anything? How did Lumin eat from the lotus? Can it be that they? But Lumin did not descend for later. But we will see. We will see because it doesn't say that when Lumin has descended. And even if they were summoned, I mean the traveler, when they were summoned, they did arrive thousands of years before. So before the Archon War. And there had to be a descender in between. So there had to be a descender somewhere around. I would presume that after the funerary year and the funerary war, and before the Archon War. So in between. Abrex was imprisoned by order of the Sunchild. Now here the parable of the three. Here we jump to another part. The king's gardener and the tree spirit of the royal garden were in love. And I have no idea who these are, but it matters. But the king wished to repair the beams of his pavilion, and so needed to cut down the tree with the most spiritual energy within it. Now, the king is probably the primordial one at this point, because his pavilion, it could be Tevot, it could be the ship, but probably more like the Tevot, and for that to be repaired, it needed to cut down the tree with the most spiritual energy within it. So it could be that there was a tree like Ermenso before, but there had to be another one. The king was the incarnation of the primordial one. Okay, we don't get that. And the gardener could not defy the sovereigns, sovereign of sovereigns. So that means that the primordial one came down in some form. There was a human-like incarnation of the primordial one, but it was probably not it by itself. It was probably just a picture, but who knows. Could not defy the sovereign, so he could only bring his plea to the king's priest, who was the incarnation of Tokoyo Okami. Now, Tokoyo Okami, okay, so one of the shades. So it couldn't tell. The primordial one was not listening, but Tokoyo Okami was. And the priest had pity on the gardener and said to him, "Go and cut the branches of the spirit tree down." The gardener did so, and afterward did as the king ordered, cutting the spirit tree itself down. So that means that the laws, because that's probably laws or even fates or history or whatever on that regard, it had to be like deleted, but there was a copy of it. Now, as everything is upside down, inverted and whatnot in Tebot, we know that, and the truth is mirrored in many ways, or like yin and yang, the other side. So here it could have happened that it wasn't like replaced, but made so. As the priest said, that the plant the spirit tree's branches in the ground, but the gardener said, "A spirit tree shall take 500 years to grow." The priest said, "Your one thought shall echo through eternity." And so the gardener planted the branches in his backyard. In an instant, the slim branches grew into a new tree, and the new tree spirit was a continuation of the past one. Now, the last sentence is very important. So, what happened is the king wished to repair the beams of and so needed to cut down the tree with the most spiritual energy within. So, but it used it as repairing it, but probably replaced it with something. However, the old one also remained. So there were two at the same time. Two laws, two rules, two ways of living, two evolutions, two civilizations, whatever, in those regards. So the king's gardener is the question that the three spirits of the royal garden were in love. Now, who was controlling that? That's who was the spirit in that garden, and who was the gardener? The bowkeeper, how you pronounce it? Dainsleif is one of those, but he is like a version that lived in the Cardian times, and we know that everything gets looped as a samsara. So bowkeepers had to exist. They probably existed in the previous times as well, in the previous samsaras and in the original. So that's the thing, is that the new tree was a continuation of the past one, which is how these samsaras work. That's what I'm saying, that it's in the next day, but the next day is the same as the previous day, with how it was in Sumeru. And with Tewot is the new era is a continuation. It's just so it's the next era, but it still is the same era. The same things happen because the fates are the same, and Ermaso records all the data. And yeah, we are going to the to my next thought process here soon. That for it is the god of moments who is able to take seeds from this moment into the past and the future. Now, from this moment into the past and the future, so there is a present still, that can be inflicted even from the future and even from the past. So the God of Moments is able to jump around. And I would think that because they saw where it leads, I mean, she needs to go back and change things until they come out perfectly that way. So that Istaroth is changing details in the past and even in the future, so things can change. The 10th year of Sun and Moon Abrax is long gone. The events before the Sun and Moon have been recorded sufficiently. The events before the Sun and Moon have been recorded sufficiently. Is it talking about this one, or is it talking about how it was sufficiently recorded in the tree? Well, if I did not dare to write things down just as they happened, how could I consider myself a scribe of the Koyokami? Hark, I hear armor without. Here, I shall stop writing. So, this is because the story is recorded here in Enkanomiya, but that did not that did not affect how the story was outside of Enkanomiya. It touched it. Now, because there is this genetic pool, and as we know about this genetic pool, that it could have been corrupted at one point, either with the Enkanomiya people or the people on the surface, and they could be separated because of that, or there might be other ways. That the thing is that humanity started here, restarted here, and maybe the influence was different, as it said that the seeds of temptation were already there, and it used seeds of temptation to say that. Now, these seeds of temptation could be put there by Istaroth because they had to be there, maybe. We don't know that for sure if Istaroth is a good or bad person, or more like following the orders in her own way. But it's more like if you go to visions, talking about visions, and looking. The most importantly, we go to Venti. I don't know if he talks about it. No, it's his own vision. Okay, so he might be talking about it somewhere here, but he is the one where we hear the expression first about allogenes. Of those people who bear visions. What I'm thinking about is that at this point in the game, it could be a coincidence. It's just funny that none of the vision bearers are in a relationship. They are connected to each other, so they are friends and whatnot, but none of them have wives, kids, whatever. They are. They are allogenes who are. Is it in our story? Yeah, the keeper is fading away. The creator has not yet come. But the world shall burn no more, for you shall ascend. I should read this, huh? Because I think these will only open later, because it's definitely not that I did not get it. But still, the thing is that as we know that and Venti has told that only vision bearers are able to ascend at the end of their journey. However, and even there, it was. Oh yeah, I'm because of this I have to go back to the Byakuyakuku. The thing is that at the end of their journey, these allogenes can ascend, and we only know about Vanessa, who was ascending. And if you saw the manga or read the manga, then Vanessa has ascended, and she saw this up in Celestia, this tower that was filled with prison-like places, like rooms and whatnot, and it kind of resembles, I would say, genetic vault. Mhm. So that's sus, because that could mean that Celestia and the primordial one, especially if they are the AI, but even with the second who came, it would work. That they are collecting the best versions of certain fates, and it could be that these visions are part of or maybe manifestations of these genetic pools, or maybe they will be like collecting those kind of, not just humans, because they are not just humans, surprisingly, but collecting those fates that are fitting with those who are protected. So it could be that the genetic pool is still not, or not entirely down, because the ones who are down on Tevat, they might be corrupted by the abyss, and there are these parts that are protected in Celestia, and they have to have those fates reach their end, like with Vanessa, and if they do, then they can return. They can return to their corresponding ones in the genetic world, and they are getting safekeep, so that the primary ones is safekeeping them until the genetic world gets repaired, maybe, or who knows. Now, back here. Yes, and so the gardener planted the branches in the backyard in an instant. Yes, and so the gardener planted the branches in his backyard. In an instant, the slim branches grew into a new tree, and the new tree spirit was a continuation of the past one. For it is the god of moments who is able to take seeds from this moment into the past and the future. Now, what we know is that our twin is influenced. He might not go entirely with the plan, but he was definitely influenced by Staroth. They might have worked together for a while. We don't know yet what was actually happening, but they were like conversing. They in my so the twin was like expecting the Istaros to mock in them in a way. When when we saw the destruction of Karia, when we were there with Deirdre, or what was her name? But whatever. When we were there, the twin was having the Loom of Fate finished, and there was Karia in an atlas. he held it in his hand. In my case, it's ether. So he held it in his hand, and he was thinking about where to plant it, where would be a good place to put it. And what if it's because not like as a place, but not where in time. So it's more like when to plant it, because in an instant the slim branches grow into new, and the new tree spirit was a continuation of the past one. So that it could be that if that happens, then the Karia will be brought back into existence, but as a continuation as the last one, not like a new one. And for that, Istaroth has to make that. Now that's why it could be that our twin's plan is to go against Istaroth, or somehow make her do it. Okay, I have a phone call. I will be back in a few. I'm back here. So that's what I'm thinking, that Istaroth, the hand of Istaroth is required for that to happen. Now that is that could be another kind of goal for Ether or Artwin, I would say, because the problem is that I don't have albedo, so I cannot look it up, but everybody knows that Reindotir has devoured Naberius, and it is in Albedo's story somewhere that somewhere in Albedo's story is that that Reindotir had found the heart of Naberius at one point, and Albedo told us that he knew that Reindotir will at one point devour Naberius. It was like just a matter of time. And the question is, was Naberius already like defeated, or what happened there that there was a heart of Naberius? I don't know that. It could be irrelevant at this point. But what I'm saying is, could it be that our twin's plan might be to devour Istaros? If there's a beef between them, it could happen eventually, and that way he would be able to use her power to go back in time. Now that would be a convoluting thing to do. And what else was I about? Here, just to check if... Yeah, it doesn't even show that there were other kinds of wings, because there were the KFC event wings, the McDonald's ones, and they are kind of describing some stuff. So I cannot refer to that. Now what I want to... What I am here for is because there are some writings here about the sample mill. I did read them on stream at one point, but Leather for Lovia, Ancient Volume, I think that will be our Tattered Volume, one of these. Just an ordinary, some of the pages, no, okay, so that's not it. Yep. I think that will be it. I will probably not read through all of this. Sacred Airport Project. Yep. But we are starting from the beginning. According to the teachings, I'm not going to read it all of it up. It's just I want to find the important parts. So, according to the teachings left by the Apostle of the Golden City, all matters must be governed by reason alone, untainted by sentiment, for mortal tongues cannot articulate the sacred mysteries, and frail emotion will only profane the words of the ancestors. In service of a pure and exalted idea for the future of the science of the far north, these actions are as justified as they are necessary. Now, this is definitely about how an AI could think about that no sentiment, nothing else matters, and no emotions. These are because it could be that when it decided how to, if the AI is the primordial one, when it decided how to terraform Tawat, that when the second who came arrived and was unsatisfied because they were acting on emotion, and if they were defeated, then they would decide that okay, emotion is not good, we have to go without, but there will be a continuation here. This decree has been approved by Lovia. Yeah, so the science of the far north, whatever the science altogether, I think those are those parts of humanity that was woken up from the genetic void first, as the ones who remain, but even the ones who went to Enconomia. Decree alternative plan for the Sacred Heirs selection. So, alternative plan for the Sacred Heirs selection. All of the content that follows has been erased and cannot be read here. It could be that first there was the Hyperborea, one civilization that was all together. That was just one civilization, but it probably failed. It could fail because of the moons situation, I think, and because Nibelung's return or whatever. And I think that after that, all right, and it could be that the Nibelung might have been the third descender. It would make sense. After defeating Nibelung, Nibelung could probably wield, because he was the Dragon King. He was probably able to wield all 7 of the elements, and if broken up to 7 pieces, 7 noses, one for each element, so the elements could have been separated. So that would make sense that way. I'm never bought into the Nibelung is a descender because he returned. He could probably always be a descender, but in our history, we could see him as the third descender because of that. Because the descenders are probably counted since Irminsul has existed. Alright, in accordance with the teachings of the Apostle of God, and all matters concerning craftsmanship and secret rites must be recorded without the taint of personal sentiment, for mortal tongues cannot articulate the sacred mysteries, and frail emotions would only profane the words of our ancestors. Do not seek to understand what lies beyond mortal intellect. Do not seek to understand what lies beyond mortal intellect. Now, what I always thought that these visions and these aspirations, these you know, these inner forces that command us to reach certain heights, like professions about as you see, all of the vision holders are like fixating on something. Like Shangling is for cooking. And now it could be that there are separate visions for each nation. So what I would think that all the 7 nations are probably having their history lived separately. You know, as if what's the word? The doctor uses it. Separate experiments, I would say. That now the primordial one runs 7 separate experiments at the same time. So that it could pick one from here if they succeed, pick one from there if they succeed. And even at the beginning, first it could be that with the Archon War, that it wanted to get the best ones to lead them, you know, like elimination of the weak. So in the history, the strength matters a lot. Do not seek to understand what lies beyond the mortal intellect. Simply recite the ancient prayers with a sincere heart, so that the purity of the blessings may endure. Purity. This decree was issued by Saradne. Blah blah blah. Not important. So, what is? Elysium and the prophecy of the sacred air let the children of Hyperborea guard their sacred bloodline from defilement. For the air of Elysium, this could be Celestia or Tewot. For the heir of Tewot is destined to one day arrive. It is hereby forbidden to marry one's closest kin. Okay, we know that it is forbidden to enter into marriage with someone from a clan that has committed blasphemy. So, okay, that has to... So, murder has to be taken out. Lying. Does that bear an antlered crown? That's probably... maybe even adepti, but it's more like that no one should be... So it shouldn't be an animal or whatever, so it has to be intelligent, humanoid. Parasite, I don't even know what that means. It has to be without mental health issues. Right? It has to be not a fae. But we will learn about the faes, I think, in Snezhnaya more. It is forbidden to a person not of the faith, so it has to believe in what they are doing with an outlander. Now that's probably that in between nations or whatever, or someone who is not from this world, because then humanity is probably again compromised. Marriage is the most sacred act of virtue and must be kept pure. Therefore, let no uncertain act stand. Let no mistress betray their oaths. The same things. Yeah, said curse shall plague their bloodline for 7 generations and then for 7 more. That's what I've been calculating back then when I first read this, that 14 generations altogether is kind of 500 years. Because, yeah, it's like 30 something year per generation, but the generations overlap, so it's not like a lifespan. So yeah, so whosoever enters into marriage must first obtain the permission and the blessing of the archpriestess, lest a curse befall their bloodline. Now, if that kind of blasphemy happens, then it's a 500 year curse. Now, it seems like everybody gets into that at one point. So it could be that this is not about what they tell that with the Honkai, or which is like the same as the Abyss, that at a certain point of intelligence and a certain technological advancement, they would have to be kind of destroyed, and just a few survivors has to go for the next one. But it still would fit into the arc, the spaceship arc situation, that how it all started, and that they want to keep the primordial wants to keep everything from happening again. What was my thought process here? So still, for 500 years, so that it kind of always happens. And it could be that this is more like the problem, that it always happens, so it wants to keep it from there, but it doesn't seem like it keeps from... so wants to keep the genetic world uncontaminated. Maybe both of them are important here. That no too much technological advancement and no problem with the genetic pool. It's probably both. Whosoever breaks this oath shall have their horns severed with a silver blade. They who have been marked thus shall be cast into the long, lightless night. Enconomia? Kind of thing. Hear now the ancient prophecy. In the fullness of time, Elysium shall come, and with it, and the sovereign ordained to rule over it shall also appear. Now, it could be that there has to be an incarnation, reincarnation, or something of because we don't know that the AI does, the primordial one as an AI does anything about because of the survival. It could be more like because its program is to protect this genetic code and to bring the sacred heir into evolution. So those sacred heirs were at the very beginning the twins, but if there was problem with the twins, either contaminated or corrupted, or just because their emotional state is different than what it did for almost 500 years in that regard, as we read in the Byakuya Kuku. 440 there, but it still fits into the 14 generations era, so it would be like that, like on average, every 30 year, there would be reproduction, I would say. The false sevenfold radiance of the high heavens shall fall at her feet, and the bones of the earth shall rise to follow her. The false sevenfold radiance of the high heavens shall fall at her feet. The false sevenfold radiance. It's an interesting expression. And the bones of the earth shall rise to follow her. That even the death should be awakened. The dead should be awakened. For from her shall spring union with the Word, and from her shall the first great cause be rebuilt. Oh, so that's kind of a reincarnation there. But I would say that that would be that sacred air would be omnipotent as fuck. That they would be change everything in the past, in the future, and make everything existent or whatnot. Let these words of wisdom find root in your heart, and neglect not the sanctity of your blessed bloodline. Oh yeah, back then, that's what I jumped over. That when the primordial one made 4 shades, basically on its picture, so that they are the same as them, but their purpose was different. You know, the primordial one remained the logic, the reason. There was life, death, space, and time. So these aspects were separated, and it could be. That's why I'm saying that it matters if there was only one AI or there were more, because an AI can be copied. And that's how it could be that this AI copied itself 4 different ways for its own shape, and those became the rulers of corresponding stuff. However, it definitely seems like it separated itself into 4 shades and the primordial one. Was it that that it had still all those powers? It's just the 4 shades have them separately, or it extracted from itself, and because this kind of extraction, if the rules apply to them the same way as with the Archons, then these kind of separations happen in the story already. With Rukkhadevata, it happened with Fossalor, you know, because there was the human part of it that became Furina, and the other part that had the authority to remain Fossalor. But it's like there is a separation, but it can be different. So that's how I think that it could be that the AI separated at the very beginning itself. Some of it remained in the pod, and the other part has gone down to Tevot to terraform. Because I don't think that the AI would have left without leaving something behind to protect the twins. Or just the twin. We don't know that yet. Because it could be that the twins went on, and then when they returned, that's when when our twin has exited the pod. And that's what I would think, that after 440 years or something, because the traveler said to said to Colombina that after a while, it could be thousands of years, after a while they returned, the ship has returned. But it was, we know because we saw how long it remained there, that it was there for thousands of years, probably 6,000 years. It was on Stars and Shoal because it was there since the Hyperboreans. So they did not arrive. They it could be that also that I'm not sure about that because of this summoning, and that wouldn't fit in. We saw the landing, and we saw the ship that was already down, and we saw that the ship was there for a long time. But did we see? I'm not sure. Did we see the in between when Lauma shown us that when there was the landing, it could be that Ether already, the twin was leaving back then. For me, I would say, but if that's the case, as Hoyoverse works, they would probably retcon it. But still, the thing is that that they want that the AI separated itself probably, and I think when we have when we have when we have woken up and wanted to leave, I do think that at that point we did not know who was the shade, because we forgot about it. One of the twins either forgot about it or never met, but probably forgot about it because of the Lotus. That they did not know who the sustainer was, but they probably knew before they forgot everything. They probably knew about this entire ordeal. So it could be that because of the twins, the primordial one arrived to Tebot. But without them arriving, Tebot would still be just a dragon. A dragon world. But also the primordial one is here, and Celestia and the heavenly principles is here because as the heavenly principles, as the laws of the land and whatnot, it feels now that it could describe an AI. You know, not a person, but laws of the land. And that would fit in with everything that we know, and also it still could have an incarnation, as it was a certain king. It's more like certain kings, I would say, but because in that story there was probably just a certain king, but what I would say that there were all these different ones. And it even fits into Karia that the Winster King went crazy because of the prince, in my case, prince, because of our twin's influence. Could it be that those kings and whatnot were still like parts of extensions of the primordial one? Because it said that the king was the incarnation of the primordial one. And it even could be that maybe the prince has killed, or someone has killed the Winster King, and that's why the Four Shades, or maybe not killed, but maybe tried to kill the Winster King, and that's why it is healing Is it and it is in its number, but that would Paimon be able, if Paimon is this AI, part of this AI, an uncorrupted version of it, that they will have this showdown at the end of it. That would be a cool thing. Now back to the sample mill. Shall guard the sacred treasure, and let it be known that the relic that is the sample mill is a sacred work, for its blessing yields unending gold, grain, and salt. Yeah, so if as we learned that the primordial one, anything they were lacking, the primordial one was able to give. So its blessing, it not the sample brings, but its blessing yields. Only the prophesied sacred air shall have the power to rouse the mill, and thus bring forth an Elysium of eternal abundance for us all. According to the revelation of our ancestors, the mill shall be sealed within a holy sanctum to preserve it from taint and desecration until the appointed time when the sacred air is born at last. The mill shall be sealed within a holy sanctum. So the mill, the sample mill, the sample we will see what it's an acronym, but these are probably the allogenes. So there is a sample mill. This is the sacred air allogene. That's what I would say, and that the allogene shall be sealed within a holy sanctum, which is probably Celestia, to preserve it from taint and desecration until the appointed time. And so until everything is there to be reborn in an uncontaminated form, because this one, this Tevat is contaminated by the abyss and whatnot. So when the sacred air is born at last. Now, but it could be that the sacred air is the twin, not the twin, the traveler, finally, and the time will come at last. But that's too ideal, and that's why I think that the story will turn in a different way, and probably sacrifices that we would not want to do has to be made for this to happen. All followers below the rank of priestess shall not enter the holy sanctuary wherein the meal is sealed. So nobody, just the four shades and the primordial one are allowed to enter. Those who violate this precept shall have a curse befall their bloodline, and said curse also. So, if anybody entered before, that would bring another 500 years of devastation. Before sowing in spring, an offering of wheat, goat's milk, and salt must be made onto the sample mill, lest famine befall you. At least one priestess shall be designated to chant prayers to the mill day and night to ensure a bountiful harvest and enduring prosperity. One priestess, one of the shades, always has to remain there to guard the mill day and night. I mean, it has to be like probably. Yeah, probably has to be there, but that's why if the four shades were about to meet in that trailer, maybe that's like a break. But definitely the unknown god when Asmodee stood our stand. That's why I think that we were not even trying to leave Tevat. We would be able to leave Tevat whenever we want, as Navia said in Simulanka. But we were not about to leave Tevat. It's our twin came to the spaceship, woke us up, and said that we have to leave. And then we went up to Celestia. Definitely, that was that looked like Celestia up there, and probably were about to enter the mill and wreak havoc there. But the question is how our twin has returned right after that, and why we were waiting for 500 years. Maybe it could be that because those who violate this precept shall have a curse befall their bloodline. And our twin was already cursed, and we were like protected, so put away for 500 years later. That could be that could be the case. Offer to the arrow of Terpicus, the children of Hyperborea share revered arrow of let it be known that this relic forged of pure light is a bow and arrow that can pierce the manifold darkness of the frozen night. You shall mix the sacred oils in the following manner prescribed by the rites of the ancestor. Take up the clean silver vessel free from all dust and water, for defilement is the root of all corruption. Take the fat of the lamb, clear and pure, and warm it over a gentle fire. It must not be too hot or too cold. Do not bring it to a boil. Add sulfur, salt, sawdust, and wax in their proper order while stirring with great care. Stir until the substance inside the vessel are of one uniform color. The number of your counting shall be 7 hours. 6 shall not, excepting that you should count. Okay, then anoint your bow and arrows with the holy oil, and your arrows shall snuff out the pitch black foam, shattering them like plates of silver. Shall revere the arrow of Terpicus. I don't know who that is, but let it be known that this relic, we might have read in somewhere else, but right now I don't know. Let it be known that this relic forged is a bow that an arrow that can pierce the manifold darkness of the frozen night. That's what is the manifold darkness of the frozen night? It could be that the frozen time so something that holds up the samsara. You shall mix the secret. So this is how it has to be made. This might be how it could be abolished. Okay. Here I will not go into that. You are destined to offer a knife preserve the last embers of civilization. Yet, even with your final breath, you may never behold the frostmoon's radiant light, or see the dawn break. I will sneeze. Sorry. Radiant light, nor see the dawn break once more upon our beautiful homeland. For the lights of the far north have been extinguished, and countless generations are condemned to cower in darkest night. No miracle has ever graced this tainted sublunary sphere, and tears have never delivered our kin from sorrow. Mecca and Tekka, and are hereby elevated to the rank of executive peers. Oh. So, priests. Congratulations are in order. Regrettably, your newly acquired title is not a privilege but a burden of duty, hardship, and silent suffering borne for this realm and the countless lives she shatters. The ram is a she. You are destined to offer all of your youth and your life to preserve the last embers of civilization. Yet even with your final breath, you may never behold the Frostmoon's radiant light. Okay, so... Then what purpose, if any, lies in all that you shall do from this moment hence? I suppose then it is for an ethereal dream, a dream of countless tomorrows, for an infinity of futures yet unborn. Oh, okay. Second, I will blow my nose. So, here. No miracle has ever graced this tainted subliminal sphere. Okay, so then what purpose, if any, lies in all that you shall do from this moment hence? I suppose then it is for an ethereal dream. A dream of countless tomorrows, for an infinity of futures yet unborn. So this seems... It seems like it could be that the Ologians are keeping up the civilization and Tabati in an everlasting dream. Only through our blood, our tears, and our toil. I guess Ologians here, but now I'm kind of mixing it up. It could be, but still, here it comes back that our children be granted the chance to behold the glorious era and the lost Elysium we once knew. So that, because that's what I think that when here there were only Frostmoon signs in Hyperborea. So so if they reached that point, visions were not existent back then. Visions are since the gnosis are there, but before that they could still be selected and put up there in Celestia, Elysium, you know, to be kept until it is for an ethereal dream, a dream of countless tomorrows, for an infinity of futures yet unborn. So it doesn't say that they will dream forever, but they will dream until there will be a world that can last forever. You get the difference. Only through our blood, our tears, and our toil shall our children be granted the chance to behold the glorious era. So, with all that they right now they are Ologians, so they could be Ologians back then. It's just here now we know that that who got visions are Ologians, but it could be that there are Ologians without vision, as for example Skirk. But Skirk is an Outlander, even or then even the Archons. They don't bear visions, you know. On that day none shall weep for suffering, nor fear hunger or cold. All beings shall love one another as brothers and sisters. So that will be like a heaven. This shall be our final and greatest dream, that our kin shall no longer be mired in superstition and barbarism. So that they will reach a certain... They will leave certain primal instincts behind. For the hope once envisioned by gods and mortals alike, we must push forward. There is no path but through. Sear these words into your mind before you proceed to read the assessment records and operating procedures. Hold fast to our dream of tomorrow, so that after everything here. So this is like the main predicament about what the entire project is about. Upon evaluation and confirmation by the acting archpriestesses, so now acting archpriestess and the senior executive technicus priestess, the Seed of Life project from the Hyperborea era, henceforth referred to as the Sacred Air project, has been deemed to no longer be viable within the bounds of its original planned parameters. So what we read earlier, not everything can be had like that, and it's probably that it's not just humans anymore. The priest who led the project, Vinda, has passed beyond, and the essential process. Yeah, so at this point, these names don't matter. Apparatuses required, so technologies required for this continuation were lost in the fall of Hyperborea. So with Hyperborea, a lot of technologies have lost. These include, but are not limited to, the process of cutting and modification, leyline, process of leyline creation and reconstruction, the process which were of the Fae. The Fae are going to be important soon because they probably challenged Celestia back then. The adaptive editing process. These seem to be about the ley lines. The aforementioned processes are at present irreproducible. The purification of existing ley lines, I very much think that these are ley lines, is to be performed through controlled artificial selection using methods primitive and inefficient. The phonotypic stability of each generation shall be recorded. Then, from this data, the most suitable pairs for union shall be identified, and non-coercive means employed to persuade the parties to join in union. So, altogether, what I think that the project was about to get new twins, new sacred heirs, because the previous ones have failed in the eyes of the primordial one. And here's some very the subatomic assembling mass energy patterning orb. And this could be the egg that we were talking about a lot of times. So it's a mechanicos construct. So and that's why I think that this mechanic this just confuses me here. Missing it out, supremely advanced construct was personally overseen by someone and is not fully understood at this time. This matters. It was designed to reconstruct matter at the subatomic scale or to transmute matter directly into stable energy, which would then be released in the form of something. Any kind of energy, basically. So that's why this was probably the terraforming device. Because that's what I think that this could make the atmosphere. This could make Phoenix born into the world, probably make incarnations. This is probably that allowed the primordial one to make the shades, and go on and so on and so on. So, in the absence of this module, the collaborative control module connected to the device was lost during the fall of Hyperborea and cannot be replicated with existing technologies. The collaborative control module could be the primordial one as an AI connected to the device. So right now it could be that everything is since Hyperborea, if the primordial one is quote-unquote asleep since then, the question is that is it talking about that? Because the device was lost during the fall of Hyperborea, or like extracted itself from because nobody until then they were able to talk to the primordial one and whatnot. But also there were the moons as well back then when the Hyperboreans were talking to the moons. Okay, but this is a bit complex, but I think the moons are bearing similar powers than the shades altogether. So in the absence of this module, proper activation of the sample is impossible. But, so that's even if it just excluded itself there, but it might have excluded even from the life of the shades since Candia at least. But I said it could be since Candia, it could be for thousands of years that the heavenly principles is asleep. So in the absence of this module, proper activation of the sample is impossible. So Celestia is just gathering the vision holders or ascended people. And it is presumed that even a forced restart would fail to correctly reconfigure said device. Refer to appendix for more details. So it could not be awoken early. It has to go through its program. Now the question is, what is Paimon in all this? Because now it's almost confirmed that Paimon is either a same kind of AI or part of that AI, or that AI reborn, like rebooted. Because if it got contaminated and it is that much with okay, contamination is problem, then I have to be reborn, rebooted some way to be cleared from that. Then that could mean that so my theory could be that during the fall of Hyperborea cannot be replicated with existing technologies. So it could be that it got frozen, the device, like almost like switched off, and then the four shades had to do whatever they want, whatever they thought that they have to do. But things are getting out of hand. So there is this. There are these twins from out of the world who are basically not their ancestors, but whom they were originally for protecting. That these twins are arriving to Celestia and going against the sample mill up there. So the shade, the resident protector, the shade of space, the ruler of space, Asmodee is actually there, standing in their way, imprisoning them, or just trying to send them back, but it sees the difference between the two, maybe realizes what they are. One of them is just sent back, and the other one is okay, now I can use this one to guide the reboot procedure of our primordial born AI, and that means that the traveler would be the twin who is guiding Paimon, which is what I was thinking back then. I not like with this logic, but I was thinking about it back then. Oh, 2 hours that I'm thinking about this. So there won't be much playing here, I think. But this is my theory about all this. So, for example, namely, theoretically viable bypass control. The senior executive mechanicus priestess, Arya Paithea of Massachusetts, one of the priestesses, that's what matters here, and senior executive and mother, has proposed a theoretically viable bypass protocol, namely the controlled input of RAM energy or RAM energy, light RAM, dark RAM energy, probably these two are here, the controlled input of abyssal energy or elemental energy at a specific carrier frequency, which may circumvent the collaborative control module and forcibly initiate the sample. Upon formal evaluation, however, the proposed method was determined to pose unacceptable safety risks, with the probability of system destabilization and ensuing exceeding blah blah blah. In light of these findings, the original decision shall stand. So this is a note, probably a very important note. This could be about that the ruler of space might have realized this one when after meeting the twins, and was presenting the idea to the other ones, to the other shades, and the idea was, okay, but it's way too risky. Or maybe it was that Asmodee was the one who captured them, but it could be that Istaroth was the one who said that, okay, but I can supervise the thing. I can supervise this method, basically. The subject of the project is a low-tier device designed to solidify energy into a semi-crystalline polymeric form. Once stabilized, the material is subjected to a high-frequency spiral acceleration and subsequently launched, thereby purging a designated area of RAM energy contamination. The acting archpriestess and the senior executive priestess have jointly affirmed that the device remanufacture is viable. This work shall proceed under the oversight of senior executive priestess with the prototype device projected for completion within standard quarters. So that it took time. Upon completion, the prototype apparatus shall be subject to regular lubrication with ointments to prevent avoidable safety incidents. This is about the arrow again. So that they went to the arrow thing. So, but probably in secrecy. This probably, if that's what it is, but it fits. If that's what is happening, then this goes on in secrecy, and it only starts after this game starts, basically, when we meet the unknown god. That's what I'm because it's an AI. It's more instead of artificial intelligence, it's more like ancient intelligence at this point. So that's what I'm saying about all this. Then that this little thing here. She is the one supervising it. She is probably a reincarnation. At this point, a reincarnation of the shades. The shades of the primordial one. That's the only thing that makes sense to me now. So what I'm curious about, how they will put all that into the, because all this that can, if you would live in a world like that, and this would be put in you, all this knowledge put in you in just seconds, not like presented in years, that your world is like that, and that you are like not just like survivors from another world, and that you don't matter, and some of you are like taken out for genetical cleaning process. You would go crazy, which has happened in the King Dashret civilization in Sumeru. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying, that this is how it is. It's what I'm saying, that in my head canon from now on, that's how it is. Okay. Now just let's see, because I kind of started this one. What I think, basically, there are so many things that if I explore, then I have to avoid here. And also, I think I triggered the latest one, not what I should have first. Prelude to the that's the enter the tower. This one is talk to Ninette, talk to Ilua, because this is the Ilua one. This is very close. Oh yeah, this is the yeah, I should do this one because it's a time gated. I do this and do the story ones later, because I am in time sensitive situation. Could they be the ones Master mentioned? The golden hair traveler and that flying fairy dressed in white? Huh? Why are you staring at us and muttering like that? Is there something weird on our faces? Oh, my apologies, I didn't mean to. Just was. There's no rush. Please take your time. Do I know you? I'm Ninette, and my master is Lepin Paulin. Ah, okay, we know her. She told me about you. Said you're the legendary adventurer Pitine, and that you travel with your best companion Paimon. I never imagined I'd really get to see you in person. Oh, so you're Lepin Paulin's apprentice. Guess her business has really been booming lately, huh? Yes, and it's all thanks to her that I was able to get back on my feet after a really hard time. Did something happen? I used to study photography under another teacher. I wanted to make it on my own someday, so I spent all my savings on the best camera equipment I could afford. My teacher said my skills weren't bad, and I really believed that if I just took good photos, I'd be able to make a living. But when I actually went out on the streets and saw people, I got so nervous that I couldn't get a single word out. Every time I tried to say, hello, would you like a photo? The words just got stuck in my throat. In the end, everyone just went to the photographers who were friendlier and better at talking to people. Before I knew it, I'd almost run out of Mora, and I even thought about selling my camera just to get by, and that must have been really hard. It was right then. It was right then that I met Master Lepin. When she saw my equipment and the photos I'd taken, she encouraged me and had me work with her to test a new lens. She said that there was a calm, gentle quality in my photos, something she didn't see in anyone else's. So when Master finally finished developing the shutter flash lens, I was really happy, probably even more than she was. The shutter flash lens, what kind of lens is that? It captures every movement and expression perfectly, even when the subject's moving really fast. But it's still in the final testing phase, so we need to take a lot of real-world photos to gather data and make sure it works properly. Since Master's been tied up with other work, she handed this task to me. I was thinking I could try finding a few people to help with the testing. But it happened again. Whenever I tried to talk to someone I didn't know, I got all flustered and couldn't make any sense. Everyone just looked at me kind of confused. They probably thought I was acting suspicious or something. A few days went by and I still couldn't find anyone willing to help. I couldn't even handle something this easy. I guess I really am hopeless. Hey, don't cry. It's really not your fault, okay? Really, asking strangers for help like that is hard for everyone. Don't beat yourself up over it. You've already tried your best. In that case, maybe we could lend a hand. Uh-huh. Petunia's got great photo skills and she knows tons of people over the place, so getting models should be super easy. Really? You'd actually help me? Oh, thank you so much, Petunia. Okay. Then please take this special camera with the shutter flash lens. I'll be counting on you to handle it. Please take some photos of your friends. Try to capture their most natural, expressive moments. Okay, so it's like so they will pose. That will be a. Will that be their most natural? But that means that this is just a very simple. I was worried that it will be voice acted or anything. Okay, correct pose. On the silhouette. After a certain amount of time passes during the challenge, the pose hint function may be used to receive a hint. Okay, we don't need hint. In the second phase of this challenge, the camera needs to be adjusted to complete the composition of the picture. When the character and the silhouette provided are aligned to a certain extent, a picture may be taken to complete the challenge. In addition, after a certain amount of time passes during the challenge, the assist function may be used to receive help regarding camera settings. Okay. But I guess this is not important then. Alright, we got it, we will do it, but right now, right here, right now, right here, right now, I'm gonna come back here and start both of the other ones. Because I want to know, but I will only be able to use it when I finish one of them, huh? Which is probably going to be a long way to go. Still. Is it always that easy? It's always that easy. I'm missing some certain ways of puzzles that were only present in the beginning of the game.
They call this a pleasant surprise, right?
Kinda. Oh, it's a bed. Aha. Yeah, I have only one of those. So there will be like 9. So that...
A long, long time ago, there was a young woman who ran away from home. After spending the last of her mora, she trod through the cold of winter, shivering in her threadbare clothes.
Is it Nicole? Sounds like Nicole. So that's why I was coming here, because these are triggered, and accidentally I was barging in here. Yeah.
Suddenly, the young woman found herself stepping out onto thin air, and she fell through into a strange place. But before she could react, a voice rang out from somewhere in the distance. This is the secret home of Nicola Coco, the great mage everlasting. Oh, destitute one, tell me your heart's greatest wish, and with my guidance, you shall attain it.
Whoa! That was a strange voice. Nicola Coco. Who's that again? Do we know her?
Yeah. It's definitely Nicole. Okay. Let's go first.
The young woman was in awe of the mage's magnificence and beauty. After a lengthy silence, she solemnly declared, "O great mage from afar, how beauteous and wise you are! The moment I beheld you, my heart began to flutter. All my heart desires now is to make your wishes mine."
And she's so full of herself.
The subtlest of smiles appeared on the mage's face as she replied, "Very well. Then I shall task you with performing certain deeds on my behalf, such as those that are within your ability. Your guide is here, and your reward awaits you in the days to come."
And Nicole is a guide, so I'm definitely thinking that it's Nicole.
Guide? Does that mean this glowing orb?
That is so Nicole that...
"Secret home," said the young wanderer, with a look of confusion on their face. "Where is this secret home of which you speak?" The mage's voice grew somewhat flustered upon hearing this question. Wait, does it make sense for this to be a bashful character? Oh, never mind. I'll keep it in for now. Mr. Nine can always refine it later. Ahem. It is rather rude to ask such questions of a mage, young one. The Mage's Lodge is under renovation. Very soon you shall be stunned by its grandeur. This shall be your trial. Offer up your strength and help this great mage to build her territory.
Uh-huh. There's a door.
As the young woman continued forth, she noticed many exquisite statues dotting the mage's territory. "What are these?" she asked, puzzled. "These are all those who opposed me. They underestimated the power of a mage, and thus were turned to stone." I quite like that. A spur-of-the-moment addition, but dare I say it was a good one. A mage ought to be a powerful and dangerous figure. Danger lends a certain mystique, and without mystique, the world would be a very dim place. But turning people to stone at the drop of a hat? Is that too over the top? And no one wants to be around someone that capricious. Okay, I think I'll dial it back and turn it into more of a vague warning.
That's actually kind of a writing process. I rethink ideas that I have the similar way.
Upon hearing this, the youngster broke into a cold sweat. But then, the mage's laughter broke the silence. "Did you fall for it? I was merely joking. These statues are just my way of capturing a certain moment in time."
Moment in time.
Anyway, statues. That's what I need your help with. The Mage's Lodge is feeling a little empty, and I should like to fill the space with some more adorable companions.
Uh-huh.
Well then, young one. Now you have learned of the troubles faced by this mage. Nicola Coco requires your aid to build her sacred territory. The mage poured a cup of tea for her visitor. What say you?
It is my honor to serve. Great Mage Nicola Coco, I will do as you command.
Wait a minute! Shouldn't we think twice before going all in on this? We don't know anything about this person! And she seems a little weird.
Yeah, so she's definitely Nico, and we know this teacup very well.
Huh? Although, having said that, this teacup looks kind of familiar.
Oh, I figured it out yet, Paimon. It's someone we knew. We know.
Nicola Coco. Ah! Is it Mage N? Nicole?
Correct. What do you think of my story?
Well,
Hard to say. It's not finished yet, surely. What happens to the characters in the end?
why? What happens to the characters until the end?
I haven't decided yet. I need to renovate my home first. Perhaps I'll have a burst of inspiration after that. Anyway, if you can hear my voice, I assume that means you're currently in Nodcry. In which case, could I trouble you to gather a few things for me?
What things exactly? Is it something to do with statues?
Exactly. I'm thinking of building a few more statues to decorate my home, but I'm lacking inspiration at the moment. So, I was thinking you could take some photos to give me some ideas.
It's interesting. So Nico will be living here. Where does Alice? Because Alice probably lives in Mondstadt. It's just she's never there.
Are you serious? Alright then, leave it to us. Wait here. We'll head out and see what we can find. But remember to finish the story once the statues are done.
Yep. Uh-huh. Could we jump down from there, or... Because there wasn't... And these kind of skies are not the jump through kind of skies. However, climbing up doesn't seem to be an option either. Huh. Let's just see what kind of thing we are talking about. Wait, how come? There you are. I knew it. What was that? Should have teleported in the very first place. Maybe down there? Witch's Lodge. Wait, first of all... Where is it? Up there? What the?
Stabilize!
What's the relevance here? Okay, that helps. So probably that's how I would be able to... What? Well, okay. Worked for me. By the way, how many do I have? Just one more. And I also have a key now. So this is too much out in the... Uh-huh.
Hey,
Wait
look
a
over
second.
there! Are those finches? Oh, they look pretty lively, don't they? Seems like a good first photo.
What I see is that little guy there. Am I cleansing them when I do this? Is it too far?
Goodness.
Oh yeah, I
The world
need
has
to follow
changed.
these.
Might I ask, when did the custom of placing treasure chests in every nook and cranny come into fashion?
That monster, it stopped chasing. Okay. Keep your guard up if you spot anything suspicious. Do we need to fight?
Better hold back this time.
Branch into song.
Well. These happened very quickly. Are we at that point? Because that's the other thing. Oh. Alright. What do you mean? Why? What have I done?
Stabilize.
Oh, it's trapped now. Do I need to kill that thing? Or that thing? Oh, okay. Does it matter when? Ah, okay, so I do need to release them at the right moment. Hey, what's happening? I did chase something away.
Certainly worth the extra mile.
Alright, ancient incantation. Truth takes time to build, but lies can be created overnight. If slander continues to spread, the foundations of trust will be eroded. Even the strongest oath of loyalty will not survive amid suspicion, exploiting the arrogance of the nobility, allowing hatred to grow and spread, thus lending opportunity to the most deeply hidden evil intentions. This is the second of his three great sins. With a stone pillar as its seal and the spell as its shroud, let the evidence of the serpent of all evils crimes be inscribed within the lantern's shade. 1,000 lanterns is what we've been reading about. The lantern's shade as well. Okay, so that's just that. I guess I will deal with this. Can I do anything with this? Nope. I think I've been told what to do with this, but... Oh yeah, from inside. Nope, not from inside. What did I have to do here? Oh, the direction change. That's not it. I forgot what to do with these. Whatever, let's continue with this first. Really? Hey, a lantern.
Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
We're at the beginning. I entered there. Okay. Can I... Or only the cutting thing works? I guess only the cutting thing works. What? Right. So I think I do need to connect all these in some ways. Wait a second. That didn't do anything. Is this another one of these pillars? No. What can I do here? Oh, it didn't come with me. Does it matter which moon thingy I'm doing? There are 3 moons. But again, with this one, maybe. But it didn't work previously. Now it does, but... But when I do this... Warning, Dreadshade Mire poses severe danger, entry is not advised, visibility is low due to thick fog, and wild hunt creatures around the area. Alright. I don't think that I should do this right now, because I'm wasting time and I need to leave. Well, is this just...
The world wishes you well.
It's just here. Prospectors come and discover new ceiling pillars within the swamp. Observe whether the Kubaki in that area have any unique characteristics and gather necessary data for future research. Be careful not to alert the Lightkeepers. This looks like a Fatui camp, but there's... what in what happened here? Come on, let's take a look. Blah blah. What was that sound? A big boy is trampling around here. Sounds like... Okay, so... Here, do I activate it just by getting close? Oh, it's a take photo thingy. Okay. Then I leave it at that. And start the other one. What did I pin there? It's just a pin. Oh, because there's something here. Uh-huh. Wolves have been seen in this area at midnight. Travelers, be warned. So what if I... What if I am here at midnight? Uh-huh. Abu. Month unknown, day unknown. A brutal fight. I refuse the locals' aid and head this night house alone. Now I'm the only one left, and oh, and this wolf. The one that came with us from Mondstadt. Huh. Master went off tracking the monsters. I cannot say if he will return, but it doesn't matter now. Where he goes I can't follow, drenched in blood as I am. The end of this path of chivalry. Only he and these crows drawn by the scent of blood will see it. I won't leave my body to them. Well, wolf from my homeland, consider sending me on my way your final duty. Oh, you're showing me? Okay, we encountered another group of monster hunters. They call themselves the Lightkeepers and seemed to have come from the north. These warriors, intent on restoring order to this land, invited us to join their cause, but Master Roland refused. Nothing will ever change unless this land is cleansed with blood. That's what the Master said. And the targets of this purge are not limited to non-human monsters. He believes that bandits who seize the chance to pillage and desperate outlaws with nowhere left to turn. All must be eradicated. But can this world truly be saved through killing alone? Okay, so that was the second. The first was the fourth. This is the first one. I thought our westward march would conclude in Natland, but Master Roland shows no intentions of ending his campaign. Things differ in the northern snowfields. There, the new Cryo Archon has restored order within Snezhnograd. Here, the chaos inflicted by the calamity still reigns supreme. So this is that time when the Cryo Archon was new. The new Cryo Archon was new. Perhaps that's why Master Roland's behavior has become increasingly inscrutable since we arrived at Notcry. Sometimes I can't even tell if we're fighting to save people from suffering or just for the sake of slaughter. I'm sure Master would say that where chivalry is concerned, there is no difference between the two. I never pondered this before we left Mondstadt. Perhaps Master Roland is right, and I simply do not understand yet. It still can be relatively new, but it sounds like it wants us to believe that it's old. I get it. Where did you? Oh, there you are. Running with the wolves. Or dancing with the wolves. Oh, there's another wolf. I get it now. Oh, there are other... Oh, I did not read that. There are other weapons around as well.
Perhaps this treasure has been waiting for you all along.
Abyssal monsters are everywhere, and the locals avoid us as if we carry the curse. Setting up camp near these ruins is not a long-term solution, I fear. Lord Roland says nothing. He just wires his blade in silence. Perhaps we really are too weak. Thankfully, once they learned of our situation, the warriors who call themselves the Lightkeepers offer us their lighthouses shelter. Their generosity is admirable. Okay. So that does nothing. I'll save you if I can.
Solidify!
Surge.
Oh, there's more.
A new moon rises.
Be silent. Close your eyes.
There you are.
Perhaps these treasures might be of utility to you on your journey.
Hey?
Please, I insist.
There's probably going to be more than one. And then that we lead here. Just another beast to be destroyed. Aha, there's a third one. Uh-huh, okay. But maybe where? Anywhere? This didn't come from close. Okay. What I need? Let's talk to Ilva. That's the other one, and maybe I don't have Anything to tell me about this one? Meeting Point Chronicles. That way. Well, I'm playing too much Warband's Meat because I never press the track. I just look at which direction it is and go there. Now I wasn't even thinking, because in Warband's Meat, the minimap doesn't turn this way, and for me this is much more comfortable. So that's why I use tracking there. Up there, yeah, up there. Okay, I think I will trigger something before I get there. Talk to Varka. Hey.
Nanina's covering the north, so we'll have Laurent take the east. Right, that's all for now.
Hiya.
Huh? Honorary knight? Paimon? What brings you to my camp?
Just moseying about. Happened to run into you. Did we interrupt?
Not at all. Any camp of the Knights of Favonius is your camp too. So make yourself at home. Though, you should give me a heads up next time so I can have the quartermaster break out the good stuff for you.
It's alright.
Is this really the Expeditionary Forces camp? Paimon was expecting it to be a bit more crowded.
Yeah, people are out, like strolling probably.
Not many from the force are still stationed here. And of those who are, most are out patrolling. Truth be told, it is a bit of a ghost town.
What are the people left here doing?
We're also gathering all the Abyss-related intel we can. Situation in Nodcry's stable for now, but we must remain vigilant. You never know when the Abyss will come roaring back.
What if I would have triggered this quest first? Then that would be like... situation not quite stable. What?
Intelligence is the foundation of any campaign. It's not just enemy movements. Terrain or shifts in the weather can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Moving forward, we plan to form a long-term partnership with the Northern Intelligence Network. Turn this temporary camp into an intelligence station.
An intelligence station? Whoa! Like the kind in Fontanian spy thrillers?
Haha, as if. Name one book with a camp this lightly defended in it. During these years out on campaign, we've found that different abyssal disasters are occurring all over Tevat. They're unnaturally cunning, always shifting, with no two attacks quite going off the same.
Huh?
I hope to use the Northern Intelligence Network to share our findings, and use that collaboration to keep gathering information on the Abyss. This isn't any one nation's burden. Every day, countless winds blow through Nodcry. I'd say that makes it the perfect place to set up an outpost.
Oh, so that's why. So this is chivalry in action.
Haha, well, chivalry's good and all, but in reality, we've only just established this station, and don't even have a good map of the nearby terrain. If you stumble across any building materials or intel nearby, don't forget to bring them back with you. Rest assured, you're our honorary knight. We'll look after you.
Leave it to me.
One expedition wraps up, another begins.
Huh? Oh, something's happening.
Grandmaster! We've got big trouble, sir!
Alright.
Oh, what is it?
That important guest we were expecting today? He's trapped at the foot of the mountain.
What? Is it who I think it is?
Oh, don't...
Yes, sir, it's him. Most of our available manpower is tied up in patrols. Who do we reassign?
Well, it's going to be us, but I'm curious.
No need. Just point me in the right direction. I'll handle it myself. Honorary Knight, Paimon, till next time.
Till next time, aren't we going? Okay. Then it stays as a cliffhanger.
Paimon's never seen Farkas so nervous. Now she's curious who that guest is.
Could it be a critical informant?
Yeah, that's probably it. Let's follow him and see if he needs help.
Okay, we are going to go there and see if... after I took this one, because... reasons. Hey. This will be my abode. Oh, even higher. Really? Oh, there you go. Because this is just enough to upgrade a statue. How far did it... Oh, that's not even better this way. No, that's the Witch's Lodge. Expecting a little. Then I can come from this direction. And I expect that probably all of the statues are looking like this now, I think. It could be. Oh, an arcane fate. So there's going to be a bit of wishing. Wishy-washy. Level 7. And there's only one level left. Or can we do this until 8? I mean until 10. I'm not sure. Who knows? That way. Oh, first off. Ding. Wait, I was hopeful. And for nothing. Okay, here I am. How long was it here? 25, 30. Yeah, maybe I will not get this. Let's see. Because I'm curious about Ilua. But I'd rather have enough than that next character that we get. And here, if a constellation works as well. Alright, that didn't happen. So here, let's see what this is about.
Help! Please help me!
Oh, that's a nobody then. Okay, I don't think that it's gonna be a problem if... What if I get close? Okay, nothing. That's all right. That's okay like that. What is this? All right. Alright, I think I just check on something here. Yeah, so these remain modified. Ah, but this one was cleansed. Okay, interesting. Because this one was a modified one as well, so this one stayed here. Can we do anything with it? Because it is so close. We should be able to take this down. Huh? That would be cool. Alright. Alright. Whatever it is. Right now, I think it was a Theorycrafting video. Very much. I wanted to put it together and not on paper, so... There's also this timeline thingy that interests me because it like changes every time. It's always how many thousand years before, not where. There are no years as dates that we could use. We can always relate them everything to here, which is, I think it's very intentional. But now I do think that I did put 2 and 2 together. It's what is the situation up there with the shades and Celestia? So that means that thingy there, which looks like it's so close to Fontaine, but if I get there, it's probably not that close. And also, first of all, that is at the other end of Fontaine. So not here, but so see Fontaine and other sea. I mean, from here it's even closer. Where you are? There it is. So it did seem like it is closer when we were looking from there. So the game design is definitely in that way that if we look from there, it's almost like the same.
He who wishes to peer into the abyss needs simply to wander through Nodcry on a misty night.
Like, can
the
I?
march of the wild hunt will be sure to drag him into the darkness.
I am unable to. I'm that much under it that I'm unable to. If I look up, I'm unable to look the way that it's not in there, not in the picture. I cannot put it into the way that it would align with this line. Okay. I'm way too close. So what I would try to do is that this is basically almost aligned with the green line here. Okay, now let's go back. And look from here, for example. Barely. No, it's actually the same size from here than right from below. Even though it seems like it's much more closer. Now, yeah, I don't have. I will need to arrange it anyway. So I don't know when they got swapped. I don't know. It's strange. Okay, let's switch this to this one. So it kind of doesn't matter where we are looking from. So here, in the manga, here there is where Vanessa has ascended. So this is probably the sample mill. Where they are protecting the allergies. Oh, it kind of disappears. Almost disappears into the fog. Whatever, the thing is that it's probably not where they live. I mean, the heavenly principles. It could be. It also could be, but it also could be that Karia was able to like attack it, and that's why it is broken up. Maybe that's why the heavenly principles were that angry about it. But yeah, this is where I am right now with my theories. Thank you for watching and listening or whatever. Maybe I will get a more condensed version of it because, you know, with a lot of that I'm doing, and for people who don't like reading, or then this is not that fun. But for me, it very much is, because this is that I'm basically doing since, I don't know, since Sumeru. I think since Sumeru I am this much invested. Before that as well, but since Sumeru I understand it more. That's what I would say. Before that, I think the word quest and whatnot, they did not reach me that well. So that's why a lot of my thoughts are mixed up, because at the very beginning I did not, for more than a year, I did not understand a lot of significance. I thought that every small story is irrelevant if it's not directly like spelled out that it's in connection with something. But what I realized, that almost everything is in connection with the main story. It's just there are lore tidbits, but it's like nothing. It seems like nothing is separated entirely, which is crazy level of epic storytelling that way. But okay, whatever. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.